now that we move past the plane and we just, we kind of see what's going on here. Now let's talk about some real stuff. I see some people finessing, some teams finessing, trying to jockey themselves in the standings, trying to avoid some teams and trying to not do this and that. So let's talk about that real quick, to see if, our man's capping or his man's being honest, what's going on. Now, I know some people think, oh my goodness, this is cheating. You're not supposed to do that, lose games on purpose to kind of solidify what standing you want. Come on now. Like, teams been doing this from the dawn of time. Teams been doing this. I think that I want these guys. I want to play these guys. I want to play these guys. I want to play this team and then this team. And the people, they do that. They'll rest they'll rest starters. They'll lose games on purpose. This has been in the blueprint, in the textbook for years. Right? But when now it's hella obvious, that's what is the difference. Before, it's kind of strategic. If you know, if you pay attention. But these ones were hella obvious in terms of the Lakers and the Clippers. Now, I know a lot of people are only reacting to the Clippers one because the Clippers one was more obvious to end the last two games. They didn't play Kawhi, PG. They just put their whole bench in. And they even almost won versus the Thunder, but they lost, right? They kind of blatantly rested guys on purpose, right? And that's where you see a lot of people saying, oh my God, the Clippers are trying to avoid the Lakers. The funny thing is the Clippers actually match up better than any team with the Lakers. Right? So it's not that they're trying to avoid them, even though they are. What they're trying to do and what both teams are trying to do. So that's what I'm trying to explain here, that the Lakers avoided them first, right? The Lakers are avoiding them for the first round. Then the Clippers say, let's take it a step further. Let's avoid the second round and let's create, if we're going to meet, we're going to have a conference finals. You want to create the more smarter business move, the more smarter team move, because again, you don't want to face your arch nemesis in earlier rounds and then it's kind of like one or the other and then that's it. You create yourself for you don't want to it's not that you don't think you can win. Obviously, they both believe they could beat each other, but you don't want to put yourself in facing the toughest matchup because that's probably a 6-7 game series. It's guaranteed. However you slice it. Other teams, if it gets to a 6 or 7 game series, I got there, but they view them as we could beat them in 5. We could sweep them. Like, they view them as that, even though they are tough matchups, right? But this team is guaranteed. Like, this is our kryptonite. This is the same building. Like, we cheese out each other, all that type of stuff. If we gonna face each other, we want to face each other in conference finals with everything on the line for the finals. Everything's on the line, all the marbles instead of first round. And no, you want to face them. If you want to prolong the inevitable for the greatest possible moment and the last possible moment, right? You don't want to, it's like procrastination. It's like doing a project. You want to do that project right when it's time. You don't want to do it from the beginning of the year and have to, no, come on now. Save your best test scores or your best IQ for the exams. That's what you save it for. You don't want to slap all the tests and then have the worst exam mark and then you suss yourself, even though it could work, but it does, it's not the same, but you know what I'm saying. Basically, you want to push the inevitable and the most toughest thing for the last. You want to push it for the last, so it's like, I'm ready. It's kind of like the final boss type of thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to have the most elite boss in level 1. What kind of nonsense is that? Why am I playing? It defeats the purpose, right? You want to have an elite, you want to have a storyline, you want to have all of that. So that's what matters, man. So when you look at it, it wasn't the Clippers just avoiding the Lakers because, obviously the Clippers are the 4th seed before they were the 3rd seed. If the Clippers are the 3rd seed, remember, the Lakers at one time were a 6th seed. Then what did they do? Rest AD and Bron. When they could have played a 1-2 game. They rested both of them and lost a couple and went to the 7th seed. It was on purpose. Remember, I did a video earlier saying ideally they would want to go into the play-in. That way, they avoid the Clippers first round and they have a better matchup of facing Phoenix or Utah. That's a better matchup for them. So they already avoided the Clippers first. Because remember, Clippers were 3rd seed. They avoided them first. We're not facing them first round. Are you stupid? Drop to 7. Yes, they were winning games at the end, but at the end of the day, they avoided them first. Right? Again, too. The Clippers now dropped to 4. So then they were like, okay, we could win. We could go to 6. We don't have to be in the play-in. But the Clippers were like, yo, you avoided us first round. We're going to avoid you for the second round. We're going to do the same shit you did. So we guarantee this is conference finals. Now, it doesn't mean it's guaranteed. There's one outlier. But, basically, they were 3rd and 6th seed first round. Okay, we dropped to 7. Now you're not going to face each other first round. But, right, because you're 3rd and they're 2-7 plays. The second round, 2-3, or the win 2-3 play if 2 wins or 7 wins, right? So 3, if they stayed at 3 and you were 7, the second round 3-7 would play if the Lakers were to beat the Phoenix Suns, right? If they were to beat them in the first round. So you would face them second round. The Clippers were like, you know what, let's drop to 4th seed. So if you drop to 4th seed, if you're 6th seed or you're 7th seed, we don't play you to the conference finals, right? We don't play you to the conference finals because the 4th seed plays the 1st or the 8th seed in the second round. And then now the conference finals, you would play the other part of the bracket. But there's an outlier. There's one possible scenario. If the Lakers lose this play-in game, then the Lakers are now playing for the 8th seed. And if they get the 8th seed, they would play the Clippers in the second round. Because again, like I said, the 4th seed faces the winner of the 1st and 8th seed. So if the 8th seed, the Lakers are 8th seed, and let's say they beat the Jazz, they play the Clippers in the second round. So that's still a possibility. But if the Lakers hold business and they win, then they're 7th seed, they won't meet each other to the conference finals. So this isn't an issue of the Clippers are the only ones avoiding, like Lakers fans and other people try and make it seem, and media tries to make it seem, because again, they have some disdain and they have some disbelief and some negative energy in terms of the Clippers. We already know how they feel about them. But the Lakers avoided the Clippers first, and then the Clippers avoided the Lakers, just to, force that conference finals. That's what you want. If they're going to face each other, I'd rather be in the conference finals. I don't want them facing each other in the 1st or 2nd round. That's atrocious. I want them both in there, and we're going to see. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see conference finals, and that's better for the NBA. That's better business-wise. That's better for the fans. That's better for, that's better for every way you look at it. It's better that they face each other in conference finals if they are to face, in terms of Kawhi and Bron and Clippers and Lakers. So, I don't want to hear that shit about, oh my God, they both, like, the Clippers are the only ones avoiding Lakers. They don't want to see them. It's cap. Pay attention. Lakers did it first. They both did. So, when you look at it from that perspective, man, like I said, there was some other teams, doing some jockeying, doing some dodging, you know what I'm saying, in the standings, you know what I mean? But, there is honestly, the West is tough, man. Like, the West is going to be a gauntlet. Like, let's say the Lakers win and then the Warriors win the second game, right? And you have the seed in 1 through 8 with the Lakers 7 and Golden State 8, just like how it is right now. Like, that's tough. Utah, Golden State first round, and, like, obviously Utah should win, but you have a superstar on each end of these teams. You have a superstar. You have a superstar in Devin Booker and Chris Paul, right? You have a superstar, basically potential, in Donovan Mitchell. He's not fully there yet, but he's there. You have stars on, like, elite stars or superstar realm on each team. Denver Nuggets, you already know you have Jokic. Murray's obviously out, and then you have MPJ who's growing. Clippers, you already know Kawhi PG. Dallas, you already know Luka. Porzingis, he's been struggling, but you still have Luka. Portland, you have Damon CJ. You still have Melo there, right? You know what I mean? Like, Los Angeles, you have LeBron and AD. Golden State, you have Steph. So, you know what I mean? Like, you have, out of all those 8, like, there's marquee, there's a guy who could take over at any time, or 2 guys that could take over any time on each team. So, like, this is a gauntlet. This ain't no like, this is like, I'm looking at this West, like, before, normally a lot on multiple teams, you had multiple stars, but now it's so balanced in terms of, like, every team has a superstar type stuff, that this is going to be interesting how this West plays out. This is a high probability that the 7th and 8th seed could both advance. I don't even think that's happened before. Because if Steph snaps and is averaging like 40, they could win 4. Like, if it goes to game, they could beat you know what I mean? Because the Jazz, again, they have to prove it, right? They have to prove it. So you're looking at these standings, you're looking at it, and then in the East, you already know, like, the Celtics are 7th. The fact that the Celtics are 7th, like, again, like, let's say it all plays out, 7th and 8th. You have Westbrook and Beal at 8th. Like, that's reckless. They could definitely, they could pose a threat to the Sixers. That, we can't lie about that. You got the Celtics, Jason Tatum and Kemba. I don't think they're going to pose a threat to the Nets, but again, they have star-studded, and if they had JB, that would be a trio versus trio, but they have star-studded talent. Miami, you already know that Butler, Bam, they have multiple stars, right? But they have star-studded talent. Atlanta Hawks have Trae Young, you know what I'm saying? Star-studded talent. Knicks, Julius Randle has come into the scene. Milwaukee Bucks, you already know what their trio. Brooklyn Nets, you already know what their trio. Then 76ers, you already know, like, come on now. Like, this playoffs has the makings. That's why I said it has the makings to be some type of elite playoffs. Like, one for the ages. This has the makings, even though all the condensed season and the COVID and all of that type of stuff. But then now we're having fans come back. Like, I'm excited for this playoffs, man. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm excited for all of this. You know what I mean? I'm happy. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. We'll see how it all goes. You know, I'm ready still. I can't lie. I can't lie about that, man. I can't lie. So you already know at the end of the day, we'll see how it all pans out. I'm going to be doing breakdowns of these games, right? Not every game, but the marquee game, the important game, or the game that kind of like has all the drama to it and kind of, you know, we'll play it by ear. But now it's playoff time. The breakdown's going to ramp up. You know what I'm saying? It's going to probably go more to breakdown type style. Maybe if there's bare games or like there's an off day or whatever, then I might just do podcasts. Well, depends too. I might just talk about some things too. If it's like multiple elite games, maybe I don't do a breakdown, or the breakdowns might have to even go down. You know how I normally do the whole fourth quarter and stuff like that? I might just have to go to maybe last 2 minutes, last 3 minutes, last 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I might, and then do talking about what has happened. You know, do stuff like that. I'll have to maneuver how I do it, especially if I'm doing multiple games. I might just have to do last 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Especially since they say it's clutch. We'll just do last 5 minutes. I might, or maybe 1-2 plays before that, then last 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see how it kind of goes. Especially overtime. Maybe just do overtime or last 2 minutes, then overtime. Like, I'll kind of, you know, we'll see how it goes. But spread the word, man. It's True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all, man. We out here. Like I said, there's no doubt here. There's no drought here. You know, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Like, it's what elite looks like, man. I'm excited for the playoffs. I'm excited for everything. You know, I'm excited. It's looking nice, man. This has been a long time coming. It's been a long season. It's felt like it's been, I don't even know. It's felt like it's been like a 92-game season because of COVID and stuff like that. And just because some of these games, a lot of the games have been blowouts, and, you know, it's not like it's been hard to watch some of these games because, again, skill-wise, individually, it's been elite in terms of, like, the evolution of the NBA and just skill and potency and all this type of stuff. Arsenal ability, three-point marksmanship, three-point shooting, all that type of stuff when you add that up. But then, because of that, there's been a lot of blowouts. So the intensity has been decreased and stuff like that, right? So, you know, now that the playoffs is here, it goes back. All that shit goes out the window and it goes back to, can you get a bucket? Can you get, you know, when high intensity, we cut off these plays won't work, and it comes down to those main guys are the main guys, right? Can you get a bucket with the main guys, right? Can you leave a stain, guy? Come on, now leave your imprint on the game, guy. That's what I'm talking about, that type of stuff. You know, that's what bruh. That's what I'm talking about, man. So we'll see. It all comes down to that. So, you know, game slows down, more fouls, more intensity, more contact, more defense. Like all of that is all in play. So we'll see who rises to the occasion. We'll see who is who and what team is what. So this is what I'm looking forward to, man. And a lot of narratives will get debunked come this time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of narratives, a lot of, admiration for this player and over boosting this player. A lot of that shit will get debunked in playoff time because, you know, pressure, what does it do? It makes pressure what? Bust pipes or it makes diamonds. And that's a true fact when it comes to the playoff time. We'll see. You know, your narrative busts or the narrative shines. We'll see. We'll see. I'm waiting. Don't worry. I'm going to be here to narrate all of it. Narrate, comment on all of it. I'm going to be here, man. Trust me. You already know. I appreciate y'all, man. You already know, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I appreciate y'all. You already know what time it is, man. And I'm out, man.